Welcome back, everybody, to Culture Cast episode 3, featuring Giles and Mike from Audio Architects. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, buddy. Happy to be here.
Right on. Me too. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. There are 3 shows that are going on right now that I'm super interested in, and I think we're going to kick things off with the one that's some people say there's an elephant in the room, but there's a dragon in the room for this one, and that's House of the Dragon episode 3. So what'd you think about it?
Well, the first thing that I really have noticed is that the time jumps are really aggressive. We're
Yes.
jumping years and years and years, when in Game of Thrones, they were able to drag it on a bit slower than that. There would be time jumps, but not so aggressively. So we went from, it's almost like 2 seasons have passed, since the first episode.
It's really weird, right? Because you're right. You have first episode, and now we've gone through a wife to a second wife to a pregnancy to a baby that's 2 years old, which is where we are at in episode 3. And now Allison is pregnant with baby number 2.
Right, and like, the baby, and then the next episode, if you watched the trailer for the next episode, the baby's going to be 3. So it's literally going year by year at this point. So it's been literally a year every episode that it's jumped,
yeah,
or more.
And you're right, that's much different than the way they did Game of Thrones, which was 4 seasons or 10 seasons or whatever it was over how many years?
Well, shit. It was in season 8. That the battle was like 3 episodes for one night.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's much different. It's way different.
I think Matt Smith is carrying the show, to be honest.
Sure, Daemon Targaryen.
Yeah, I think his character is very, very compelling, very intriguing. He has a lot of personalities built into one, because he was kind of like Tyrion, where you kind of like enjoyed his sarcastic humor, his just his cadence, and then he has the action of Jon Snow, and he has the politicking of Tywin, so this guy is like cutthroat, badass, and super smart. So, but he's impulsive. That's his problem, though. That's where I think his character's biggest flaw is, that he's completely impulsive, and that could very well pose a problem, because when it comes to politics and war and stuff like that, it takes a lot of strategy. That's why they have these small councils, to strategize and to have different opinions from the different lords, because these guys supposedly have the most experience in the realms, and they get together and they counsel the king, because the king sometimes needs counseling. I thought the part where it took a real strange turn for me was when his brother, the Viserys the king, sent out the note, the emissary with a note, and it was not very well received. And then that was a kind of a catalyst for Daemon to kind of do a kamikaze trip, because
he should have been dead. Totally.
Right. Well, he didn't know
he would be dead.
Had he not had Corlys's troops come in and help him, he would have been dead. And that would have been tragic, because, like I said, he's carrying the show. So this character cannot die. Otherwise, this show will become a lot more dull. What did you think of Rhaenyra's? Because I know you have strong opinions about Rhaenyra's character this episode.
Okay, so just a quick comment on the whole Daemon thing. So what I thought was really weird is exactly what you said. So, and what I think is really telling is this guy would rather go on a suicide mission than take help from his brother. And
Right.
I thought his brother, Viserys, was great because he's all like, I'm sorry, this, things have been screwed up and I don't want it to be like this between us. And I want to help you. I want to help you be successful. And Damon was like, F that. I'm going to try to kill your courier. And then I'm going to go. And if I can't do this myself, I'm dead. I don't want your help. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot. All right. Now, when we get back to our leading lady, so I think she's got a lot of teen angst, right?
Mhm.
And they're writing her as the teen angst, and she's like, "Woe is me, Dad! You hate me. Why do you hate me? Everybody hates me all the time, right?" So I get a lot of that from her character right now, and even Dad's like, "No, you're the one. You're the chosen one. I
Right.
don't care what everybody else says. It's you." And she's still all like, "Oh, Dad, I'm gonna be emo." So she was like super emo, and then she's all like, "I'm gonna run away and throw a temper tantrum, and I'm gonna make this guard follow me, and maybe we're all gonna get killed." And they almost do get killed by this boar, right? But they persevere. I'm still enjoying her character. I think she's great and all, but man, she is like emoed out. And
Mhm.
Dad is, I can empathize with Viserys and the stuff he's going through. And he's all like, "Look, we're in this position, we got to do this stuff." Um and I really like the argument he had about marrying, because she got him. He's all like, "You have to, marry for advantage, blah blah blah." And she's like, "What's up, Dad? You didn't marry for that. You married because this girl was what you're into,
Mhm.
because if you had wanted to really marry for advantage, it would have been Corlys's daughter, the Valerian
Right.
girl, right?"
Right.
But I think it's interesting that they're trying to push the whole concept of marriage for her now, and she's fighting back against that hardcore. So I think we'll see more about that in the upcoming episode. But those were two of the big themes, right? Now, what did you think about the hunt? So they had the hunt, and they were like, they found the big white deer or antelope or elk or whatever it was, right? And they were like, "Oh, this is fated. This is a sign that your son should be the king." And then when they caught it, it was just like a regular one. But then later, she saw the real one, right? So
Right.
what do you think that's going to bring for the story?
There's a lot of like innuendos and a lot of I don't know if you what you call it. So these beliefs these people have, back in this day, that certain things mean something to them.
Yeah,
Had
omens and portents and all that stuff.
right, and had anybody seen that and reported that to the king, that that white thing came to Rhaenyra, that would have eased his pain a bit about choosing her as his heir. I think he's remaining beholden to that because he did make a decision. He wants to stick to it. Seems like a kind of guy that is a man of his word. It seems like a nice guy all around. Granted, we all know
Except for killing his wife.
I mean, well, yeah, there's that, but he didn't do that out of spite or malice. He did
No,
it.
no.
He did it because he was obsessed with having a boy. But then he realized, hey, I have a girl. She's capable. She's strong. But it's just not common. It's a very misogynistic era they're living in.
Yeah, it's definitely a patriarchy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that was cool. The hunt was cool. I think that the way they portrayed him getting on and off the horse telegraphed his health. The fact that he was missing fingers telegraphed his health. I'll be surprised if he makes it past this next episode, health wise.
Yeah.
Since they are carrying this along so many years, in advance, like another year has passed, and it's gonna be very, very strange to see him survive throughout the whole season. I don't think
There's
he
no
will.
way,
It's sad.
right?
It's sad because he's a good guy, but I don't know. I think what's going to happen. Well, let's just finish off the boar thing. Yeah, then they get attacked by a boar, and Rhaenyra and the other dude seem to have a pretty cool relationship. I don't know if it's going to turn romantic, but I definitely know that she trusts that guy and wanted him to be there and wanted him to be, by her dad's side for some reason or another.
He
You
has
know,
experience, right?
but you know how convincing those Dornish men can be.
I love those Dornishmen myself. One thing that I want to ask your opinion on, and this is me predicting the future a little bit. So, the king, at least 5 times in the show, has talked about his dream, his vision, where he saw his son being, I don't know, prince or ascending the throne or whatever, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And that's what led him to do the C-section for the wife, because he's all like, I know this is going to be a boy because my son is going to blah 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 blah. So here's my prediction. I think that is all a huge setup for contention between this son and his daughter, right? I think he's going to stick to the whole, you're my daughter, you're going to be queen, but I think this son is going to come up and kill her ass or something. I don't know.
Okay, so
are you cheating?
I am cheating. Yeah. Well, I needed to get caught up with something. Okay, so remember when Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King, proposed that Rhaenyra marry the son, the 2-year-old son, which would make Rhaenyra the queen until the son came of age. Then the son would take over. However, in the books, she marries Laenor Velaryon, who's the
boy,
the Will Smith looking kid.
Yeah.
Or Jaden Smith looking kid.
Yeah, John Macmillan.
Yeah, he's older now. I mean, in one episode, he aged 10 fucking years. Yeah. So, I think that's cool. But he's also a dragon rider, which is cool. It would kind of solidify the tensions that Corlys is having with Viserys,
Yeah, totally agreed.
And it would strengthen both houses. So that would be a smart marriage, because that's originally what Corlys wanted with his daughter and the king, which was highly inappropriate. But I could take children at 14.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, Martin.
There are parts of the world that still.
No, we're not getting into this. We're not getting into this, but yeah.
In its entirety, though, I'm not sure what type of drugs George R.R. Martin was taking when he wrote these things, but he definitely made it to where it's just like old times. He must have read a few too many King Arthur novels or something and said, okay, this is how they do it back then, and let's just do it in my books. Would that fly nowadays? Hell no. That's not a thing that happens. Like, if you're going to marry my daughter of 12, I mean, arranged marriages are a rarity nowadays too. So, it's only that's a cultural thing rather than it's the order of the king, if you ask me, the king involves himself in things that he shouldn't worry about when he has so many other things to worry about. Now, how Daemon and Corlys handled everything with the Crabman, they did not give the Crabman a backstory whatsoever. Like, this was such a waste. This was such a wasted character. What a wasted character to have. Like, the Crabman could have been
that dude. I thought it was going to be a big deal,
I thought this was going to be like another Night King, right? Where they build him up, and then near the end of the series, or even carry it on to the second series, they finally battle him out. But no, Daemon goes in there and cuts him up and brings him out. But hopefully Daemon didn't catch Grayscale, because that seems to be what that thing had.
That's the only reason I can think that character was there, right? So, okay, other than Daemon is now going to install himself as king of the Free Cities or whatever it is, king
the
of
narrow sea, the narrow,
the king of the whatever that area, right? So he's gonna be like, well, I can't be king over here. So guess what? I'm king over here now. But dude, yeah, if he gets grayscale, that'll be
That would be the only thing that would make sense from that Crabman character.
yeah. Why would they give it to him in the
Like,
first place as a character, right?
what if
If
the
it's not
Crabman character is like patient zero?
yeah.
You know, of grayscale, because nobody really else has mentioned grayscale. Nobody has it. Nobody's sick with it. So what if he's like patient zero? What if he like, you know, fornicated with a crab, and that's how grayscale came about? You
Well,
know,
it wasn't there a colony of people with grayscale in Game of Thrones? Because that was
they were at the Citadel. Remember, Samwell was the one that was treating Jorah,
right.
and he fixed them and everything. But that's where they went, I guess. It's like that was their like Cedar Sinai.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be the genesis of all of that. That would be interesting. I don't know. But yeah, the Crabman dead. So the big things, right? Crabman's dead. Damon, spurned his brother's offer of help and went out and solved the problem himself. This should solve problems for Corlys and the Valyrians, who are, he's the sea snake, and all his ships were getting sunk or whatever by these people. So he's going to be happy. And I'm sure he's going to want to be super buddy with Damon. And when Damon turns himself into the king of that area, I wouldn't be shocked to see Corlys being, bend the knee to him, right? And that's a big schism between House Valyrian, House Targaryen, and maybe the way that's healed is through the marriage of Rhaenyra to Leonor, however you say his name. Maybe that's what brings them back together. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit. This is from the book. Okay, so when was this done? 6 years ago. This was written on Quora. Quora is so good. I don't know why people don't use it. It's like they did a poll and Quora was at the end. So this is what they say about Aegon II, which is the kid we have now, and Rhaenyra. They were both terrible rulers, which is why the Dance of the Dragons was so tragic and yet also so realistic. There was no good side. Both of them sucked, and it's a miracle the dynasty managed to survive either of them. Aegon II knew damn well his sister was their father's chosen heir and still claimed the throne. The Princess and the Queen, I guess that's another book, remember, was written by a maester, i.e. you need to read it through the lens of a potential bias. Aegon resisting the throne at first and then claiming it out of fear for his family is a crock of horse shit and almost certainly retconned. What does retconned mean?
To go to retroactively convert something. So it's like they wrote a book.
Right.
They decided we don't like what happened, so we're just going to retcon it and just change it. Say, oh, ignore that. This thing happened instead now. That's
like
retcon.
he reneged on it, right?
Yeah, retcon. Just rewrite something and change it.
To make him look like he had no choice but to claim it. After he became king, he allowed his brother Aemond and Criston Cole to wage extremely violent warfare against not only rival lords but also the peasant class. Okay, so Aegon II sounds like a little Joffrey in the making, but with bigger balls. So that's dangerous. And Rhaenyra sounds like she's not a very good queen either. So they both sound like they're pretty dreadful. So
if Rhaenyra continues to be emo as she ages, she'll be horrible,
I'm really curious to see because in the books, I don't think Daemon's killed off. So I think we're going to get to see a lot of Daemon, which is good.
Well, he dives off a dragon at some point in the books to his
right.
He
does. Yeah, he does do that, but I don't imagine that being very soon. I hope not. At least.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God, when they were talking to. Oh, okay. So in the next episode, this next Sunday, they what do you call it? supposedly he's going to offer up his crown to the king, but there's going to
Who
be
is
Damon.
gonna
So
offer his
Damon walks in carrying a crown, right? He has the
right?
crown of the Narrow Sea or whatever. I guess in the books, he's going to offer the crown to the king and just say, hey, I'm not trying to f with your stuff. That's what they name me, but I'm loyal to you, which that would be the right thing to do, because if you remember, Viserys was about to send 2,000 men to help out his little brother
Yeah,
and,
he
and,
wants
and
to
bail him
mend
out.
it up.
It was the little brother that started the fight. It's like, okay, it's almost as juvenile as, let's say I'm your little brother and you and I go to a bar and I start a fight with the biggest guy there, right? And I'm getting my ass kicked and you have to go over there with 3 of your buddies and kick their ass. I started it.
But then you're like, screw you, I don't want your help.
But yeah, and then I look at you and I'm like, why'd you help me?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get it. So yeah, well, they're building up a lot of interesting lines of story, and Rhaenyra and Daemon, I think they both suck at this point. Neither one of them are a character that I really like. You know who the coolest, nicest person in this whole show is?
Who?
Alicent.
Oh no, don't let her fool you. In the book, she's treacherous. Hold on.
In the TV show, she's like the nicest. She's like, oh, I'm helping everybody out and I'm all good and everything. Yeah, she doesn't appear treacherous at all in the TV show.
10 things only book readers know about Alicent Hightower. Now, I really like the actress that they chose for her older self, Olivia Cooke from Ready Player One. I think and they look very similar.
Sure.
I do not like the actress they picked for Rhaenyra, only because the facial structure is not really there. Like Rhaenyra has kind of young Rhaenyra has a very soft, and
her jaw is very
her jaw's very protruding, very soft face, looks very feminine. The actress they chose has more of a defined jawline and a more of a flatter face, so it doesn't look similar. I think the only similarities they have are the fake blonde hair and the eyes are a bit similar.
Sure.
So those are the two things. So don't really agree with that actress. However, I feel that just the way the book portrays Rhaenyra, the actress
it might fit. Yeah,
it might fit what the scope of that actress can do.
Right.
So now, I'm not familiar with that actress, but I am familiar with Olivia Cooke, and I think Olivia Cooke will be a really good Alicent. So let's see. Supposedly she had several brothers. We all know she's rich, and the Hightowers are rich from the old city or whatnot. She may have lost her virginity to Daemon.
Oh, that's a twist.
Ooh, yeah. Like, what's up with that? So maybe, when you see that hand on that wall, somebody's doing something with somebody,
So I'm sure the king would be unhappy to know that Alicent and his brother had, done the nasty. Interesting.
And this is why supposedly Otto and Daemon hate each other.
Oh, because Otto knows.
And this is before she married Viserys.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. If something like that happened, Daemon would be dead.
So she is from one of the. As an aside, before I finish this, what did you think of the Lannister?
Oh, Jason Lannister being like, "Hey, you want to marry me?" Yeah,
he had no game whatsoever.
No game at all. He's all like, "You want some of this good wine? It's the best ever."
Well, even my girlfriend was like, "Man, they didn't make him very good looking back then, did they?"
They're like, how
She
would you
has
like to
she
be
seems to
my
have a
lady?
my girlfriend seems to have a little affinity, a little crush on Jamie Lannister. But
Well, dude, I have a little crush on Jamie.
what
That
woman?
dude's good
Yeah,
looking.
what woman doesn't?
Yeah,
But
that dude's good looking.
okay, so they came from a rich family. She was originally close with Rhaenyra. She
That
had
got fixed.
several children. Um,
She's a baby making machine. She didn't look very happy about it though.
okay, so
for
for sure, Aegon will be king at some point. Yeah, I'm looking at the Rhaenyra older actress, and I'm like, I just don't see it. I could see it with Alicent so hard. They picked such a similar looking actress, but with Rhaenyra's character, I just don't see it.
It'll be fine. She won't. I wonder how many episodes she's going to last. We'll find out. I'm really curious how many seasons this is going to last. All right, so
now is this going to go back? Now I wonder if this is going to go back and forth though, because once they age out, then that's it for those actresses.
I don't think it's going to go back and forth. I think it's going to be done. The way they're moving, there's not a lot of flashbacks or anything like that. They're just plowing forward. So any predictions on deaths for episode 4? Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
I'm not cheating. I definitely think the king's going to die. I think that we're going to see Otto Hightower die at some point. I don't think it's going to be this next episode, but soon.
I think Otto is going to get axed after the king dies. So
shortly thereafter, yeah.
My guess is that the king goes in this next episode because they can't keep him around too long.
So I think that they're going to name Rhaenyra queen first, and then Aegon the second's going to fight for that title later on. This is why the timelines are getting so aggressive, is because they have to age these people out, because the real juicy stuff happens when Aegon and Rhaenyra are fighting each other, you know?
Here's my prediction for the show. So this next episode, King dies. Rhaenyra becomes queen at some point in the episode. Then episode 5, I guess it is, because this was 3. We're talking about 4. King dies, she becomes queen. Then they flop forward 10 years or something like that. And episode 5 is when the new female actresses come in, the new Rhaenyra, the new Alicent, and I guess the new son, whatever his name is, I forget. Aegon the second. And that's that. I think episode 5 is when all that happens. But they got to kill the king before then, because she has to become queen. So that's my guess.
And then just to give you an idea of how many Aegons there are, I think Jon Snow was the 6th of his name.
Aegon the 6th? Okay.
Yeah. So that puts it at a very, there's a lot of Aegons.
Right on. And I wonder, is he a direct descendant of this Aegon? So does this Aegon have a baby?
So, okay, well, kind of. So
well, either he does or he doesn't.
For sure, Daenerys is so Daenerys is Viserys's great granddaughter. So 5 greats.
Okay.
So she's a direct descendant of that. But then Jon Snow would have to be, because that's Jon Snow's her nephew.
Yeah, nephew. So the father
was Rhaegar. So Rhaegar is the father. So Rhaegar would have been Viserys's great grandson too, because that was brother and sister. But Daenerys was Rhaegar's sister. So Jon Snow's direct descendant, dude.
Right on. So this character's got to live long enough to grow up and procreate.
Well, what I think is interesting is, I wonder if okay, so where they totally screwed up with season 8 was that they didn't do anything with the fact that Jon Snow's Aegon Targaryen, right?
Yeah,
So
nothing.
so I'm guessing a Hail Mary is basically after they're done with this, and supposedly they have plans to do several spin-offs, not just this one and the Jon Snow sequel. They have plans to do several other spin-offs as well. George R.R. Martin has a dream to make this into like kind of like a Star Wars universe type thing, or like a Marvel Cinematic Universe where they have different, what I'm saying, different things going on. So, which is great. I love the content, but I think the Jon Snow thing is going to be a direct correlation with this show, and I think they're going to mend what they didn't do and address the fact that he is Aegon Targaryen, and see and have some stuff happening there. So I'm really excited to see how the Jon Snow sequel turns out. I
Yeah,
hope it's not
I'm
just
looking
him and
forward to it
wildlings
too.
running around.
Yeah, I think it's going to be super awesome. As long as they get rid of the king, you
Bran,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, Bran was fine, but no, not the king. Whatever. Anyway, all right. So
Or
let's.
you know what could be a motivator for Jon Snow? What if someone kills Bran, and then Jon Snow goes, "Well, hey, I have claim to the throne. I'm Aegon Targaryen, the sixth of
Right.
his name."
Yep.
You know,
Oh,
and,
he
and then
totally could.
they take it
Yeah.
from that angle, and then Jon Snow has motivation to avenge his brother because he loves his family, he loves his brother. So,
Hmm.
um, I would say Sansa would be more of a cameo type situation,
They better do a
because
whole show about Arya, though.
Arya needs a show, or at
Yeah,
least needs to be. Her and Jon have always been really close, so maybe they'll couple them together and they'll fight together or whatnot. But we'll see what happens.
that's cool.
All
That's
right,
cool.
buddy.
Yeah. So just quickly want to touch on two other things before we call it an evening. So She-Hulk #3. The show is lighthearted. It's a comedy, and there's not a lot of plot there. There's nothing hot and heavy. It's nowhere close to a House of the Dragons for anything like that. But it's okay. Any thoughts? Have you watched it yet?
I've seen the first episode. I was just bored. It was
Yeah.
not. It was not engaging. It wasn't really the actress they picked was kind of bland. I just don't feel like it's a very compelling character whatsoever. How she became She-Hulk is kind of a right place, right time kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not into it. I'm into. I loved Moon Knight. I mean, I'm a huge advocate for Moon Knight. I think they did that really well, and Oscar Isaac was fantastic. Um, but you know, She-Hulk may have a place in the next Avengers. So I think that's what they're setting all these characters up for. Because they announced at Comic-Con 2 new Avengers movies. Something with Kang, the Return of Kang, or the something of Kang, and Secret Wars, which comes after that.
Yeah. Secret
So,
Wars is going to be awesome. I thought they were going to do a Thunderbolts thing too.
no, yeah, they're doing that, which is basically Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Right.
So this is where, because the Black Panther's coming, I think in what is it, October, November, something like that. That's the next movie I'm excited for. Wakanda Forever. So they're predicting that Michael B. Jordan will be reprising his role as Killmonger and return to Wakanda to become king. However, they think that would be a very good segue for him to go into that Suicide Squad movie, as
Man,
well.
I do not want Killmonger to be king. I so do not like that character at all. I just
I thought he was great.
it's like I am not into that character. I really don't like it.
Really, I
Yeah.
thought he was a very good villain.
I I was dude. I wasn't feeling it. I like everything else about Black Panther, the movie, but that character I was not super happy with, and I'll be super sad if he does become king because dude,
Well,
he's not king material at all.
a lot of people say the sister is going to become Black Panther and
No,
Queen or whatever.
she's gonna be Ironheart.
No, there's another Ironheart. There's another girl playing Ironheart for sure.
Really?
Yeah, and she's going to be introduced in this movie.
Okay, all right. So I just assumed that she would become Ironheart.
That would be cool
because
but
she's
I
like
think
super technical and is all smart like Tony Stark is and all that. To me it made sense that she would be Ironheart.
well, you know what happens. The toys give away the spoilers first.
Oh, totally.
And in the Legos, she is Black Panther. So
okay, well that makes sense. And then maybe she could be Queen.
Possibly, but in the preview, in the beach scene, there's a male wearing a gold trimmed Black Panther outfit with gold nails, and the gold trim was always Killmonger's thing. So
Right.
that's why everybody thinks Killmonger might be making a comeback. And not to mention, the villain in this next Black Panther movie is known for resurrecting people out of the water. And Killmonger's final request was to be buried at sea, where his ancestors were died or whatnot.
Yeah.
Were buried. So that could be another thing.
Who's the
villain?
Namor is a villain?
Yes.
I thought he was a good guy.
No, dude, he's a villain.
I thought he was part of the Avengers at one point.
He was. Here he goes. Namor, because he was the Submariner, right?
Yeah.
He's an anti-hero. So he could. They made him in the comics. He's Atlantean, but because of Aquaman, they are they're giving him a different origin, like another. He's from some other thing.
Yeah,
so,
he's Polynesian or something. Yeah.
Or from somewhere, and yeah. So Namor is able to resurrect people down there. So I wouldn't be surprised if.
Dang! If I'm gonna die, I want them to dump me off in the ocean then and be like, "Come on, Namor, hook a brother up."
The thing is with Namor's people and the Wakandans don't get along. So that's where the conflict comes into play.
Gotcha.
So he could very well be a good guy. He just doesn't get along with these people. They have war.
Did they happen to cremate Tony Stark and dump him into the ocean?
I wish. I hope.
Wouldn't that be awesome? And
yeah,
Tony Stark's like, I am Ironheart.
I just don't see. Let's see the timeline. I don't know. Phase 4 just looks caca. I mean, look what we've had so far in Phase 4. The Eternals. I haven't even seen it yet. Doctor Strange.
It was a good movie. I like all these things, though.
Doctor Strange is okay. Shang-Chi, haven't seen it.
It was good.
Thor, Love and Thunder, meh, lukewarm.
It was lukewarm, and they shouldn't have made it so much comedy.
Black Panther, hopefully will be good. Black Widow, lukewarm. Spider-Man No Way Home has been their only good one.
That one was a banger.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming. Not necessary. The Marvels, I don't even know what the hell that is. Guardians of the Galaxy, that's going to be cool for the people that like that kind of thing. Deadpool 3, I hope they finally integrate him into the actual mix of things. Blade, that'll be cool. And there's another Captain America coming. Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. And a Fantastic Four movie. Okay, what's this Captain America? New World Order. This is slated for 2024.
Yeah, that's going to be what's his face?
This is going to be Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
So this is going to be Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan together. So this is basically the continuation of the show.
Yeah, the TV show.
The Falcon and the guy.
I wonder what they're going to do with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Because we're a little less than a year out on that one.
There's a special type of person that likes those kinds of movies.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, I'm not a big fan of that humor. It's
If
just
they
like,
do it, if they do it right, it's okay. But so I think they missed the mark with Thor, right? Thor they tried to make it a Guardians of the Galaxy humor kind of thing. Bad choice, right? The Thor from back in the day was way better from my point of view. But I like the ensemble comedy of Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. Oh, and then they got Thunderbolts coming.
Right, and that's the anti-heroes, right?
Yeah.
That's the Suicide Squad. Thunderbolts. Who might be on? Here we go. Who might be on the new team? Early candidates, obviously. What's her name? Black Widow's sister.
Hawkeye is going to be on it, I bet. All right, I'm looking through the old
Sharon
rosters.
Carter. Oh, the guy that played Captain America in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Venom at one point was part of the Thunderbolts.
The Punisher's possible, which I hope they bring back John Bernthal. Well, they already, I think, said John Bernthal's coming back for another Punisher.
Ant-Man was at one point a Thunderbolt. Luke Cage. Juggernaut. I'm just looking for stuff that we've seen before. Red Hulk. Deadpool. Oh, so here's a good setup. So Thunderbolt 6 was Red Hulk, Deadpool, Elektra, Punisher, Agent Venom, Red Leader, Mercy, and Ghost Rider.
That'll be really fun.
That's a good setup right there. That's really good. Now,
I thought the Defenders was a really, really cool concept. I don't know why they just gave up on it.
I agree. Yeah.
Who knows?
Then the most recent Thunderbolts, which is Thunderbolts 11, the 11th roster for them. That was Hawkeye as leader with Spectrum, whoever that is. America Chavez, I don't know who that is. Power Man, Persuasion, and Guts and Glory. So so Hawkeye, I mean, if he's not going to be in the Avengers, he could very well be in Thunderbolts.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. So last topic of the night, and that is Rings of Power episode 1. I haven't seen episode 2 yet. Have you watched episode 1 yet?
No.
Okay. So I think it's pretty good. Episode 1 was a lot of setup, but you get to see when what was the elf queen? What was her name? Dude, I'm going to forget all the names and hack this up really bad.
Liv Tyler?
No, not Liv Tyler, the other one.
I don't know.
And she was at the place with Elrond.
Dude, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings in almost 20 years.
Okay. Rings of Power cast. Okay. Galadriel. So she and Elrond were big characters in Lord of the Rings, and you get to see Galadriel when she's like 7, which is thousands of years in the past, right? So they start the show off when she's a child living across the sea, and then they bring everything across the ocean to Middle Earth, and the hobbits, they turn them into like little scrubby Irish people. It's not really cool. And the plot line is just, they fought the great evil, which was Sauron's boss, and they were supposed to have vanquished it, but it disappeared, and now it's going to come back, and then they'll have strife, I'm sure, fighting against Sauron and all that stuff. So it looks okay. We'll see. Time will tell. But I've only seen episode 1, and we'll watch episode 2. So if anybody's watching, please comment down below what you think about the show, and we'll get more into it down the line. All right.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll try to check it out.
Cool, man. Yeah, and if there's anything else that hits your radar as a must-watch show, let's let everybody know. Other things that I can recommend right now, go watch Wrexham. That's pretty good. That's the story of Ryan Reynolds and what's his face? I can't think of his name. The writer for Sunny, as they buy a soccer team in England or in Wales, and the shenanigans. It's a documentary.
Ryan Reynolds has actually been getting a lot of work lately, so pretty.
That dude, he's disgusting. He's just so awesome, right? He does all this stuff and owns all these. Yeah, he's done super well for himself, and he has way too many Instagram followers.
Then again, so do we.
yeah, but we don't have 42 million or whatever his number is.
That would be rad.
Instagram Ryan. Oops, that's not even doing it. Instagram Ryan Reynolds. He has 45 million followers.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, owner of Aviation Gin, Mint Mobile, Maximum Effort, whatever that one is, I don't know that one, and Wrexham Soccer, or football, whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. And he's like 18 feet tall and super rich and whatever. Good for him.
It all started with waiting.
Yeah. And so, Ryan, we're here for you, man. We got your back.
He's got his own back.
I'm definitely here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to follow him right now on Instagram. I'm going to be 45,000,001. Bam. There you go. All right.
That's funny.
All right. I think we can go ahead and call it. Mike, thanks again for all your insight into the show. It's very cool getting your point of view, and I'm sure everybody out there appreciates it. Audio Architects, everybody, Instagram, YouTube, go follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'm Giles, Home Theater Fanatics, and you're watching us on CultureCast. So like and subscribe here too. Everyone has 3 jobs: Audio Architects, CultureCast, and Home Theater Fanatics. Hi-Fi Haven, thanks for hanging out with us. It's always good to have you here with us, buddy. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.